It's never been a better time to be a Revon customer. When you sign up or switch to Revon Broadband Internet, not only do you receive free installation, a free modem, and 3 months of service for free, you're also automatically entered to win up to $5,000 in prizes, like a 60-inch smart HD TV with Bowe surround sound system and Rev TV Premium, Rev Voice home phone service, complete with a portable phone system, a laptop, and Revon Extreme Broadband Internet service. Already a Revon customer? No problem. You are also eligible to win a prize package as well. What are you waiting for? Call us to sign up or switch today.
Good evening, everyone. You're tuned into NB12. Coming up tonight in news, the backlash begins after Leslie Miller named the man he believes had his son murdered in an extremely public forum. What the accused man is saying tonight, another Haitian sloop sails in. The opposition leader embarrassed by comments over the new critical care block. Plus, fire rages at the city dump. I'm Bonnie Toot, and NB12 starts now. Top of news tonight, a local businessman who was yesterday implicated in the murder of Mario Miller by Mario's father and Tall Pines MP Leslie Miller on the floor of the House of Assembly is tonight seeking to clear his name, since he doesn't have the right to defend himself in Parliament and could not successfully sue. Well, after he saw the blaring headlines, Dion told Arcandia Dames that he has been unfairly accused. You'll only see this on NB12.
Bowe says Miller's accusations are libelous as they are untrue. Through his attorney, he suggested the Tall Pines MP abused his parliamentary privilege. Now he's asking the House Speaker to make Miller substantiate his accusations or withdraw them.
Bowe agreed to speak to us exclusively today in the presence of his attorney, Wayne Monroe. I asked him whether he knows anything about the murder of Mario Miller.
Nothing at all. Nothing at all. Not even a presumption about it. Nothing. I know about who did it, or just accusations like street talk on the streets.
Did you know Mario Miller?
I know Mario Miller from school days. As a school being in the Bahamas, everyone knows everyone's family like this.
Bowe says he is appalled that a senior member of parliament can rise to his feet at any time and savage the name and reputation of a private citizen with scurrilous remarks without any recourse for the private citizen to respond.
As far as my response to this, I feel that it's completely absurd. It's ludicrous that Mr. Miller would even come up with accusations to defame my character in such a way. In saying this, I know how he feels, but he doesn't have the right to disframe someone's character, because just like Mr. Miller, I have 5 kids, and when they go out there, they look at me, and I'm a role model to my kids and also to my business partners around the world and wherever they may be.
Mario's mutilated body was found in June 2002 in bushes near a Super Value food store in Winton, just a few minutes' drive from his home. Wayne Monroe says no MP has a right to attack a private citizen in Parliament. Monroe suggested House Speaker Dr. Kendall Major is being hypocritical, given the fact that he just recently demanded that opposition leader Dr. Hubert Minnis withdraw recent accusations that he made against Prime Minister Perry Christie. Yet Major has allowed very serious allegations against a private citizen, Dion Bowe, to remain on the record of the House.
It is noteworthy that Dr. Minnis's attack was on somebody in Parliament, well able to defend themselves on the floor of Parliament, yet he was made to withdraw it, and when he didn't, it was struck from the record, and he was then punished with 2 days leave. Much more effort must be taken, in my view, by the Speaker of the House to ensure that private Bahamian citizens are not the subject of undue attack by parliamentarians who have absolute privilege.
Bowe says he is saddened that Miller has had to endure the murder of his son And he noted that crime unfortunately remains a major issue in the country that all law-abiding Bahamians must address.
And Mr. Miller, I'm deeply saddened in your loss. Again, I say that as a friend and as a brother in Christ. But I just wish that you could come to some peace and closure with this. And I suggest that you seek the Lord just like everybody else, because He is the answer to all things. We as Christians should be getting together as one and fighting against crime, to making sure that the manner of Mr. Miller's son's death never happens, or even though in the world today, to anyone, because we don't wish this to happen to any parent.
Monroe says that if Leslie Miller really believes that what he is claiming is true, then he ought to repeat those comments outside the House of Assembly. Monroe has made it clear that should that happen, he and his client would take the strongest possible action. Reporting for NB12, I'm Candia Dames.
When we reached out to Dr. Major today, he said while he understands the public uproar over Miller's comments, he can't allow his moral compass to dictate how he handles what is said on the floor of the House, noting that only the rules of Parliament can do that. Paige McCartney has that angle.
The House Speaker said Miller's speech fell within the rules of the House, though he said it's unfortunate that those rules set members of Parliament apart from the public.
Because of the fact that he is within the rules, which clearly states that a member has the privilege of free speech, and as long as he stays within the rules of free speech as it pertains to the rules of the House, then he is within his rights as a member of Parliament to call a name of an individual, although understandably it may be astonishing to the public.
Well, many have questioned why the House Speaker's reaction was so much stronger to opposition leader Dr. Hubert Minnis's comments about Prime Minister Perry Christie several weeks ago on the House floor. But Dr. Major said to compare the two is to compare apples and oranges.
I don't think you should call an individual's name in the halls of Parliament like that, especially in the case of murder. That has serious repercussion, and those words should have been expunged. Right? They should have been expunged. But those are the realities. They put me out, but I was fighting for democracy.
If you compare it with the situation with the member for Kalani, that was against another member. And that's where the difference lies. And clearly the rules speak to when a member makes accusation against another member, then the member ought to show proof. And because the member was offended by it, and because the rules were violated, the chair just asked the member to withdraw the remark. And so we're still back to the square one. If the member had withdrawn the remarks, like members do all the time, then we would not have been having this conversation about that. So it's two different things. It's just two different situations here.
Major said he believes it's highly unlikely that Parliament would grant Dion Bowe an invitation to defend his name at the bar of the House due to the controversial nature of the matter. However, a recent recommendation in the Constitutional Commission's report could give private citizens the right to do just that. Reflecting on what happened yesterday, Major said he has held his tongue during Miller's speech because it was clearly a sensitive time for the MP.
I knew at the moment he was very aggrieved, he was very pained, he was very emotional, he was extremely passionate. And from time to time when members experience these emotions, they may say things that may be a bit disquieting to the public.
Reporting for NB12, I'm Paige McCartney.
Meantime, Prime Minister Perry Christie, who visited several churches in Fox Hill today, responded quite candidly to Miller's comments. Jasmine Bonamy reports.
The Prime Minister says while he understands what led Miller to make those comments, he doesn't agree with where Miller made them. Put simply, Christie says it was not the place for the impassioned comments to be made, despite the fact that complete privilege is allowed in the House of Assembly. Christie, an attorney, says criminal matters should be dealt with in the courts, not the House of Assembly.
Anyone who knows me knows that I do not accept that Parliament is a place to do that. I'm very, very, very clear on that in terms of my own position. You have absolute privilege in Parliament. You are able to do that. The House of Parliament in Britain now, I think, has a committee that is looking at the question of privilege and whether or not absolute privilege should remain. But we are not a court of law, but it has a statement has really the impact of a judgment against someone.
While acknowledging that losing a child is always difficult and an experience he's never had, Christie stated firmly that his party nor administration would not be getting mixed up in outstanding criminal matters.
I do not know what it feels like to have lost a son or a child. I make that concession. I have never experienced the pain of it, and therefore I'm unable to say that I could in fact understand the torment that was clearly that of Leslie Miller, and he was very honest in saying that at times he appears to be, he has to fight to keep control because of the pain. I do not want my government or the politics of the Progressive Liberal Party to be caught up in public discussion about whether someone is innocent or guilty in a country where we have laws that enable the police to investigate, to determine whether or not there's a prosecutable offense, and then to take due process to ensure that everybody is satisfied by an honest effort by the police to bring justice to the situation.
Reporting for NB12, I'm Jasmine Bonamy.
In other news, the search continues for dozens of Haitian migrants believed to have been on board a sloop that made landfall early this morning in the Marshall Road area. NB12 was there as this footage of police, defense force, and immigration officers combed through bushes in that area this morning. At one point, officers spotted a migrant still wading through waters off the coast trying to make it to shore. They say their main concern was the migrant's safety.
He got to be tired because you done run him down and then he decide to swim. So he tired. I just hope he don't drown. That's my concern because he obviously ain't gonna get away.
Officers were seen chasing the migrant in the water as he tried to make a break for it, but before long they caught up with him. We followed them as they rounded up another few male migrants in nearby bushes. At last report, authorities only had 16 undocumented migrants in custody. Just hours after that sloop made it to shore, officers on board the HMBS Yellow Elder apprehended a Haitian sloop off Green Key, approximately 60 miles south of New Providence. The total number of migrants apprehended in the area of Green Key is unknown at this time as Defense Force Marines continue their search.